down near on Central California. And he said that really the only really interesting and believably trustworthy compounds are those that grow in nature, not made in the laboratory. And I'm natural, and I told him, you know, I make things too, and and we had it was an interesting talk. I sort of got my wise ass stuff in there, and it became quite a challenge. But the thing is, for example, DMT is a good example of this. DMT was synthesized first in Canada in 1923, perhaps, as a chemical, not tested in man, unknown, and it is not a natural material. It is man-made. And yet it was found then later in plants. And in plants it was a natural material. It had to be protected from metabolic destruction to be orally active. By itself it's not orally active, but if you block the enzymes that would destroy it, then it becomes orally active. At which point it becomes a natural material. And so this was one of the issues I brought up with him. Even more interesting than that is DMT, dimethyltryptamine, is apparently natural in the human body. At least I have read this in a couple of research papers, which makes it a very fascinating compound. If any of you ever want to get into law and get into real interesting problems, I recommend pursuing this. For example, it is against the federal law to transport a Schedule I drug from here to there. And now if DMT is natural in the human brain, then the prosecuting attorney, the judge, everyone in that courtroom are transporting a Schedule I drug from here to there. So these are subtleties that get very, very complex when you get deep into the legal area. This the whole law system is absolutely fascinating. It's substantially out of hand.
Out of control.
Out of control, yes. I heard.
Following up with that, I'm just curious, is it possible to create a synthesized version of the ayahuasca experience? I know it's 2 compounds, but...
synthetic version of something that would be give you an ayahuasca-like experience.
Oh, absolutely. Don't use DMT, use 5-methoxy-DMT. Don't use harmine or harmaline. Use a substituted analog of that. You have what's called pharmahuasca that has been made by Ott down in Mexico or Spain, wherever he was when he was doing this.
Jonathan Ott.
Jonathan Ott. And he made what he called pharmahuasca, which is an orange pill that's harmaline and a white pill that is 5-methoxy-tryptamine. Neither compound illegal, but they have to be taken together to get the active material in the body, and the substituted material that keeps the active material from being metabolized and destroyed in ahead of time to keep the material active. Yes, these are synthetically available. There are a whole host of compounds that I've been working with quite a bit, absolutely dull in the sense that they do not have psychedelic actions. And these I call isoquinolines. I wrote a dull book about 6-8 years ago on simple isoquinolines. There's a compilation of these. These are 2-ring systems with the nitrogen over in the beta position. I'm not getting into chemistry. I've been warned by Ann to stop discussing. I call them dirty pictures, you know, chemical structure, things sticking out. But
I didn't really warn him at all.
But the isoquinolines themselves are, in a lot of cactus, are the primary materials that are present. And I've not yet found an isoquinoline that is an effective psychedelic. But the cactus also contains phenethylamines that are very low amounts in there and are active. And the isoquinolines are inhibitors of the enzymes that destroy the phenethylamines. So these cacti are, in essence, like ayahuasca. They have a material that is active in there, but is destroyed metabolically. But by the other materials that are not active but are destructive of the compounds, destructive of the destructive compounds, are in there, and the presence of the two families of compounds in the same cactus makes an active cactus. Do you want to go on anything?
Yeah. Lithium salts.
Lithium salts of what? No, I don't know about this. The lithium salts in general are not particularly active. LSD, modified much chemically, loses much of its activity unless it's modified on the 5 position. An interesting compound in the modification of LSD is the 5-ethyl homo-LSD, which is an active material. In fact, it's more potent than LSD, but it does not have LSD type action. It's a kind of a stimulant and a turn-on of a very gentle sort. So these materials can exist. How lithium would come in to play the role, I don't know. I don't answer.
You say it intensifies the effect? Wow.
Wow, I say the same.
Yes, that's right.
I have no gut feeling at this at all. I can't answer that question. I don't know.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, I'm sorry. This gentleman said that he took lithium, and then he took LSD, not realizing that they might interact, and was blown away. He's never experienced anything stronger or more intense. I'm glad you're here and looking healthy. Hold a second. Right next door. You. Yeah. The question is that this gentleman was reading something out of, was it Pikal? Where it's an experience of being allowed to peek into the realm of the gods, and whether this is brought about by one particular drug, or it could be the result of taking any psychedelic, and the latter is the case. I think this could be with anything at all, or even nothing. It's a very nice experience because they're very kindly, benign gods.
Let me add one point to that one. People tend to think that the drugs do the turning on. Actually, the turning on comes from you. You are the source of the imagination, the fantasy, the mental manipulation and exploration that you experience. The drug is merely a catalyst to bring these things out into your availability. So don't give all the credit to the drug, give credit to yourself. And you are being catalyzed by the drug into revealing from you yourself to your active mind what really is going on. It's a very subtle change, but it's not the drug that's doing it, it's you that's doing it. The drug is allowing you to do it.
Yeah, lady there.